Okay, this is how you go through MyOpenMath. When you start out, you're at the home screen. I have several classes created. You can click Add New Course. Start with a blank course. Call it whatever you want to. 13, 16, I'll call it A just to change it. Enrollment key, I always go with D8052. That's my ID, basically my login for my email. And that way the students will use that later on every time they get into the course, or to actually get into the course. Submit it. I do not tie my courses to Blackboard. I leave them independent. That way they have their own grade book. And then for each chapter, I just download the grade book when it was, or the grades when they're due, average them and hand enter them into the course, rather than trying to link it and all that stuff. Now, this course has been created. It has a course ID and it tells you how to, what to give the student. So then you go to your classes, and this one I just created was 1316A. We need to add an item. Basically for MyOpenMath, I'm just adding homework, and so that's an assessment. 1316 1.1 homework. There's dates for it and all those things. You can go through and do that. Display method skip around, which is nice. That way each student gets a different question to start with. It scrambles them up for you. You don't have to do that. You can give the whole thing at once and all those options. Attempts per problem, I always give 3. At that point, I have 100% per missed attempt after 3. That's just the way I do homework. And then you just click create the assessment. And so every time you want to do a new homework, you can either create it, or I'll show you in a minute, you can copy the one you already did and just delete the questions. There's 2 ways to get questions. You can select a library right here. And when you select a library, it gives you a choice of courses. So when I set up my stats, I went to statistics, finite, trig. So since it's 1316, it's a trig class, there's a list of assignments pre-made for trig classes. So I'll just pick angles and use the libraries. And so well, let's see. Oh, yeah, that should be right. And when you search that, you should be searching the selected library. Find the radian name. Okay, now you do need to check these questions by clicking preview. For each of the following angles, the person that created this took it out of a textbook, basically, which is fine. Okay, preview shows them what they typed. The actual answers are down here, and it gives a lot of decimal places. I believe it only requires, you'd have to double check it, 2 or 3 decimals rounded off. I believe it will take that answer. So so that's how that works. And if you like the question up here, you can mark it to be used. 30s, 45s, 60s, change them to radians. Okay, so here's a unit circle. You have to go through and go all the way to P. Okay, so you have to label all of those angles. And you can double check. They wanted these done in radians. And when student gets done, they just hit submit. And so that's basically what it looks for. And it will build fractions. and it gives you a character for pi over 2, for instance. That's wrong, but that's okay. Or you can just type pi, and so that the preview shows you what the answer is. So that's the kind of thing it will do for you. So that's a good one. I mean, it depends on what you want. You just go through and check them all, and then you click add, and it's taking them from the selected libraries. Okay, you click add, and then over here it says how many actual physical questions you want to add. I normally just add 1, but 1, done, that's it. Okay, so again, you can go through from selected libraries, or you can just click all libraries. If you want to just go general and look everywhere, you can click all libraries. Is it doing anything?